Hear me out. Kate Winslet's character in this is more dramatic than her character in Titanic.
Academy Award winner Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, Kate Winslet, and Hugh Grant. Sense and Sensibility.
It's Throwback Thursday, which means that the channel members get to just go completely rogue and select a mid-90s Jane Austen adaptation which is unreasonably horny for its time. Yes, this is one of the original. Hugh Grant is just a bumbling, awkward boy. We just love him. We want him to tell us. All of us just want him to tell us awkwardly and weirdly that he loves us. Ugh. Also, this is the film that proves there is a duality of woman. You can either be Eleanor, who just likes to sit and sip her tea and yearn in the biblical sense for a man without telling anybody, or you could be Marianne, who is loud, dramatic, screams and cries a lot, only finds her man at the very end very eventually after, desperately wanting somebody else. There's also the duality of man, though, where you can either be the hero in the second act of a Jane Austen novel and turn out to be an asshole, or be the hero in the third act. Sense and Sensibility is one of the better amongst the many, many Jane Austen adaptations that were belted out in the 1990s. I mean, it became quite the fad, and then the BBC realised you could just make Downton Abbey instead and give the people what they want from these, and then they just give up on it. Anyway, Mr. Dashwood dies and leaves his three daughters and wife behind, but it's only the two daughters we really care about. And they have to go off and live in a cottage because their brother and his wife, who serves all the wrong kinds of cunt, moves in. Eleanor, played by Emma Thompson, gets really into Edward Ferrars, and she absolutely doesn't take him for granted, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, her sister Marianne tries to resist just getting to be in everybody's favourite Snape meets Hermione fanfic by instead going after her co-star's future husband. Yes, imagine you're Emma Thompson, the lead in this film. You're also the screenwriter for this film, and instead of being like, oh my goodness, look at Hugh Grant, who I'm acting romantically alongside, you instead go, oh my god, look at that guy who's not only my co-star's romantic lead, he's also the villain of the film. And then she ended up marrying him and living happily ever after. Isn't that weird? Kind of a little bit. I have some problems with this. It's my first time watching this, and it's one of my first times seeing a Jane Austen adaptation since kind of reading through all of her books at last year. And I feel like there are good reasons why this hasn't been translated. You know, look at how many times Pride and Prejudice has been translated to the screen. This, far less times. And there are a few reasons for that. I think a lot of this book is just Eleanor sitting around and yearning for Edward. And that doesn't translate to the screen that well. It's not that it translated badly, it's hard to get it right. And as well as that, Marianne, just her entire character. There's just nothing she does over the runtime of the book or of this film where she actually shows she deserves Brandon, and that's just kind of like, a little bit. Leaves a little bit of a... Their whole thing just leaves a little bit of a in the mouth, even though Alan Rickman is phenomenal in this. There are a lot of general suppositions about films like this style, that they're overlong, that they're boring, and I have never experienced that with the Jane Austen book in particular. I've never thought that I didn't like one of them, but I didn't think that any of them were boring. And I've thought that for the most part about film adaptations as well, that there's not actually any of them that are boring. This one, it begins to tread the line. I don't think it's a boring film, but it is 2 hours 15, and you can feel the runtime. Not that I'm saying it's way too long, you know, I mean, it does skip over, arguably, some bits of exposition that you kind of need for the book. But I'm just saying that there are books that they don't quite work as well in film format. I feel I've not watched like a mini-series version of this. I feel like there are a couple of them out there. But I feel like this one is, even more than Pride and Prejudice, kind of built for mini-series format almost. Because there is just a lot to explain. And especially in the third act here, I feel like it starts missing out on those things. And it does. I can feel the runtime. Not that it's boring and way too long, but I can feel the runtime. I think the performances are great. It's just one of those Austen adaptations where great British actors come out of the woodwork, or since you're in the right era, great Harry Potter cast members come out of the woodwork. Seeing people like Hugh Laurie and Imelda Staunton just popping up and delivering great performances of different kinds, that really helped elevate it beyond where I thought it might be heading at one point. I don't think it is a fantastic film necessarily, but it is a good film, and it's a very enjoyable film. And Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet together as those sisters, like, that is just instantly hell yeah, just classic. It feels very much like a banger of the most gentle, seemly variety. So I'm giving Why Has Alan Rickman Not Always Been a Romantic Lead 3.5 stars. I do think that Alan Rickman gently reading poetry to Kate Winslet, young Kate Winslet, is the closest we've probably ever come to an actual film adaptation of Snape and Hermione romances, which are always the fucking worst fanfics. It's fine. It's fine.